So, hey guys, we will be going forward with the front end basics. So, that will be just like about the smart task dashboard. So, we will be adding some tasks. Just some random tasks that I've been adding. So, this is a task tracker that is there. So, we can add the task and we can assign the task to people as well. So as of now, I have added 10 tasks. So when the task is finished, we can just simply click it off and it will basically it will strike off, right? It means the task was done. So we can delete it. So as you can see, the task is no longer appearing in the list, right? So how this is happening actually. So when you add a task, right? So we type like as we have you can see we have wrote buy groceries. So we type buy groceries in the input box, right? And click the purple add task button. So what does the code like basically what the code does is like it uses the add task function. So the add task button click listener fires, right? So that means the add task function runs. So it basically yes. So this is what it happens. So basically over here the add task button click list or fires. So the add task button function runs, right? So that means it looks at the task input and gets its text that is buy groceries. And also dot trim is used to remove any, as you can see, this is basically used to remove any accidental spaces at the beginning or the end. And as you can see, if task is equal to like blank value because it actually checks that you have actually typed something and you can see the constant list is there. So this is the most important step. So it creates a new empty list element in the browser's memory. That's what it does. So basically now first we will go through the HTML part, and before that I'll display one more task dashboard is there. So over here what we can do is like we'll add different tasks over here. So as you can see, we have like added so many tasks. So we can segregate the tasks on the basis of its like we can categorize if the project suppose like we have already got the groceries. So we can, just drag the buy groceries part in the done section. And if we are like basically in the middle of this task, then we could segregate this particular task in the progress category. So, like simply a smart task dashboard, simply a smart task dashboard is there just to segregate the task and its validation of the task that is being done. So when it is completed, then we can just put them into the done part, and if it is in progress, then we can simply do it in the progress category. But we this is just a simple UI of the smart task dashboard, so you can improvise a bit upon your understanding, as you know that improvisations are always welcome. So this is what a primarily what a smart task dashboard does. So the primary agenda for this is to like list the to do task. Then we can basically see if the task is in progress, and when it is completed, then we can, just simply drag it to the completed session. So over here, for the completeness, we have stated done for it, so that's why. And we can just, put the what are the plans in the in progress lobby as well. So this is how a smart dashboard works. So now we will discuss like how it is made actually and how we can do it. So and as for the UI part, right? So you can improvise and add more features, like we can add over here the assignee features as well. Suppose if a task is there in a company, right, so we can also add the task assignee name, task assignee duration as well, and the ETA as well. So these could be the improvisations that could be done in your project. So suppose if the assignee name is here, then we can also put the duration of the task that needs to be completed and the status as well. And if that person is not available, then we can reassign the task. So these all will be the improvisations that you can do, and many more further improvisations you can do, like if you want to, create a good smart task dashboard system. So now we'll see the fourth part. So in this bit, this is also a simple one. So we can just simply wipe it off. If we click in the cross button and just we can just simply wipe it off. So this is more simple task dashboard. So this was just to, like when we type it, so it just basically it is adding the task. So when it is completed, we are just wiping it off. But as you can see in the other dashboard over there, there was like different status bar for the progress of the task that needs to be done. So how it is built actually. So a modern web page has three core layers. So you can think of it like building a person. So HTML is a skeleton, as you can see that it provides the structure and the content. And CSS is the appearance, so it says skeleton, adding colors, layouts, and fonts. And JavaScript is the brain that basically adds interactivity and making the page respond to the user actions. So the skeleton, that is HTML, so defines all the elements on the page. So we create a container for our dashboard. That is an input field for our new task and a button to add them and an unordered list to hold the task. So as you can see, the main container for our live demo was the dashboard container, right? And the form area for user input was, as you can see, the task input form. So this is the text box where the user types, right? So this ID is crucial for the JavaScript to find it. And you can see, so as we have stated the task input, so ID is equal to task input, and placeholder is like enter a new task is there. And the button to submit the task is like it also has an ID, right? So the button ID is add task button. So that is the, you can see this has a button ID, okay? So as you can see, and then after like button ID is created, then an empty list is there. So JavaScript will add all our task items inside here. So ULID is equal to task list and task will be added below down here. So the styles, the main container for the dashboard, it is there. So as you can see, the background is this like this is the color code, the padding, the border radius is 15 px, box shadow is there, and we are using the flex box to align the input and button side by side. So this is the task input form, that is the display flex gap is also there because this is used to add space between the input and the button, right? And the margin bottom is 25 px. And as you can see, the style text input field is also there, that is task input. So basically flex grow. So that allows the input field to take the available space. And padding is given over here. Border, border radius is the font size is also there. And as you can see, the styles the add task button. So when this is the add task button, right? So the background color is there. So because our primary color like is purple, right? So that is the color code for purple. Color white, border none, padding is this, border radius is this, and cursor is the pointer. And you can see the remote, it removes the default bullets from our task list as well. So the task list is there, so it as you can see the list style is none, right? Because you can see the list style is none, it is just, so that is why. And we it styles each individual task, that is the card, that is the task item. So display is flex, then we align the items in the center, padding is this, background color is this. So this is the color code for the background color that has been used. Border radius is this, margin bottom is this. So this class will be added by JavaScript when a task is clicked, right? Like basically not clicked, it is checked. So the task item completed. So the text decoration line through and the color is available. So this class will be added when by the JavaScript when a task is checked. And it also styles a little red button, that is the delete button, right? So this is this. So when we click this, this is getting deleted, as you can see, right? So this is the delete button. So that is there. So it styles the little red button inside it. And you can see the background is there. And the color is white. Border is also there. Border, sorry, border is none. And with this 30 px, that is height is there. Border radius 50% makes it a circle. Cursor pointer is there. So that is for the delete button, as you can see. So this is the delete button, right? So when we click, the task gets deleted. So now we'll see the JavaScript code, that is the basic, like JavaScript brings the interactivity to the HTML and CSS page. So this basically brings the life to the dashboard. So the code waits for its user actions like clicks and manipulates the HTML to add the complete or delete task. So this code goes inside a script tag, usually right before closing the body tag. So you can see, like, we need to wait for the entire HTML page to load before running our script. So add event listener is there, right? So this is a very important safety wrapper, right? Because we don't run any of the code inside here until the entire HTML page, that is the DOM, is fully loaded. Because why? Because if the script ran before the HTML, it tried to find the get element by ID, that is task input. It would fail, right? Because the input box inside wouldn't exist yet. This prevents element not found errors. So get references to our HTML elements. So the const task input, const add task button, const task list. So this is the cast list of our script. So it finds the HTML elements by their unique ID. So which you define in your HTML page. So it stores them in JavaScript variables. So task input is the text box, right? And the add task button is the purple add task button. Task list is the empty UL list where the task will go. So as stated, so task input is a text box and add task button is the purple add task button. So as you can see, this is the add task button. So this is the purple one, right, that we are talking about. And the task list, as you can see, so this is the task list, right? So by tomatoes, so this is a task list. So now we'll see the function to add a new task. So this defines a recipe called add task. So the task input dot value gets the current text inside the input box, right? So it basically gets whatever the text that is typed inside the input box. And dot trim, so this text, it gets text from the input and it removes the extra space that is there, whether in the beginning or in the end. So that is like by done with the help of dot trim. And you can see if task is equal to this, so this basically, this checks prevents the user from adding empty task and constantly. So document dot create element list, so this is the core and the dynamic of HTML. It literally creates a brand new empty list element in the browser's memory. So list class name is equal to task item, so this adds a CSS class, that is dot task item, to the new list. So this is how the task gets its card styling from your CSS file. So now we'll see Lee inner HTML is there, right? Input type is equal to checkbox, span text, span button class is equal to delete button. So this builds the HTML inside the new list. So as you can see, dollar task text. So this is a template literal that injects the user text. For example, buy milk into the span. So this result is a complete task card with a checkbox, so and a delete button. So as you can see, this what it does is, right, this basically helps us to create the checkbox and a delete button as well. So when we are when we are clicking on the checkbox, it is automatically getting striked off, right? So now we can use the delete button. So that is there. So basically, what it is doing is like this is a result. The result is a complete task with a like with a task card with a checkbox, the text and a delete button. So that is why it is being like the checkbox is there and we are able to do that. So now we'll see the task list dot append child is there, right? So we add the newly created list item to the task list. So this takes the new list we built and appends it to the UL, that is the task list. So the now the user sees their new task on the page. So basically what it means is like if we are typing something clean room, right? So the visibility of the task over here, that is what it is primarily referring to. So this takes the new list we build and appends it to the end of the UL, that means the task list. So the new user now sees their new task on the page. So that is what it is doing. So now we'll see about the task input value is equal to quoted values, right? So this clears the input box so the user can also type new task. So now we'll see the function to handle clicks within the task list, right? That is function to handle clicks within the task list. So this is a very efficient pattern called event delegation. So instead of adding a listener to every single checkbox delete button, we add one listener to our entire list, that is task list, right? So event is that this is a magic object that the JavaScript gives us containing details over the click, and event.target is there. So as you can see, the event.target is the exact element that was clicked, right? So if the clicked element was a delete button, then the delete logic is there. So if the clicked item has the class delete button, then event.target.parent element, this finds the parent of the button, which is the list, that is the task item holds it, right? And the task list, that is task list dot remove child task item, this removes the entire list from the UL. Then we'll see if the clicked item is a checkbox, right? Then event.target.parent element again gets the parent list and task item dot class list dot toggle, that is completed. This is the magic of for the strike through. So as we have seen, the strike through is also there. So toggle adds the class completed if it is not there, and it removes the class completed if it is there. So this toggling is what activates and deactivates your CSS rule, that is task item completed spent. So as you can see, this is the strike through I was talking about. So this is what the toggle does basically. So it toggles at the class completed if it is not there, and it removes the class completed if it's there. So the magic for the strike through, that is there, there's task item dot class list dot toggle completed. So this is the magic for the strike through. So the fourth and the last one is like add event listeners. So this is the code that wires up the buttons and function. So it is the go button for the whole script, right? So when the task button is clicked, the run add task function is there. So when anything inside the task list is clicked, then we run the handle task list function. So that like this is how we create a smart task dashboard. So for this, so this is the code for this simple dashboard. So now we'll see the code for the other dashboard that we have, like I have showed. Just wait a second. I'll be back. So yes. So for the custom style for the dragging effect is also there, as you can see, that is done by dot task dot dragging. So as we have seen, so like we were able to drag the to do items from like to do status bar to progress or done, right? So that is how it is created. And also the custom style for the drop zone highlight is there. So this is the code for a light blue indigo highlight. You can see. And form for adding new task is also there. So that made form responsive on small screens as well. And the clear button, as we have stated, so this will help reset any stuck data that has been there. And for taskboard columns, we use flex and grid for the responsive layout. And the do to do column, right? That is there, and in progress column also, like task column BG white is there. So that's how we are creating. And the done column. So over here, the only major difference was like we had the dragging effect, right? So this is how we created the dragging effect. And the interactivity for JavaScript. So as stated that task.com, the task input, the clear task button is there, and we are using container for task. So and we need to get all the columns to drag and drop, right? So this was used by this. And our database is like we'll store our task in an array of objects, save tasks to the local storage, and render all the tasks to the page. So this function rebuilds the HTML for each task from the task array is there. And function render task, so we can also clear all the columns first, right? And loop through each task. So create the task element that is there. Then add the task text. So we can also add a delete button with a trash icon, right? We have there, and the DAG start event listener is there because it set data stores the ID of the task we are dragging. Append the new task to the correct column is also there. Add new task is there. We also stop the form from reloading the page. Don't add empty task is also there. So basically this add to our array and it saves to our local storage and it reads all the tasks on the page. So this I have stated in the HTML page as well like before. So this is used to clear the input field. And delete task button is there. So it creates a new array without a task you want to delete. saves the new array, redraws the page. So step 7 is like clear all the tasks. Clear task button, add event listener is there. So now we use a confirmation box to prevent accidental deletion. So we are not using alert to confirm. So this is a simple implementation, right? And to handle the drag and drop is there. So drag over fires when a drag item is over. A valid drop target is there. So this is necessary to allow a drop. So we also added a visual highlight as well. So when we get the task ID, we stored in the tag start is there, and then we can get the new status from the columns data status as well, and find the task in our array and update its status as well. So initial load was 8. So render any task we found in the local storage when the first page loads. So this is pretty much about the dashboard. So we discussed about this dashboard as well. So the drag and drop feature is like this. So that is how we were doing the drag and drop. I'll be sharing these files. So this will be for today. So this is how pretty much the front end basics is required to create a smart dashboard. And you can improvise a bit, and you can also use other things for smart dashboard as well, like as I've stated. So for assignee and stuff, we can add more features, right? So those all improvisations could be done. So it depends upon you how well you want to curate your dashboard and how well the data insights could be interpreted through it. So this will be for today. So I'll be sharing the files. I hope you got all the files from before. So as I've forwarded it to the support team. So I hope they have shared the files with you. So did you guys get the files? A simple yes or no would suffice the answer in the chat box. If not, then I will remind them once again to share the files. Okay, then that's good. So I'll forward the files. Then that's it for today. And please, guys, start your project, right? And the project review is due soon. So that is one of the reasons that I'm constantly reminding. So we will wrap up the session and I will share the files. And please do your projects, the project reviews.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Can you please share the previous session's materials in WhatsApp group?
Yes, I will. Like like somebody told that they have got the materials.
No, actually, it was the smart task dashboard that we received today. Other than that, before two previous sessions, we have not got the material.
Okay. Okay. I will make sure.
Thank you.
Yes. And yes, like you have asked, right? So you can use Streamlit for that. So you can create dashboard through Streamlit. So that would be the Python only way. So you need to install Streamlit in Python, and then you can do it without using HTML.
എന്തിട്ട്
Sorry.
തല മുൾമുടി അണിഞ്ഞും കയ്യിൽ കൈ ബന്ധിക്കും.
So okay, yeah. Then we will wrap up the session, and I will ask Harsh whether they have shared or not. Like I'll remind them, and I'll share the materials to them, and they will share it to you. Okay. Thank you, guys.